Your eyes do not deceive you. He has returned. He has done an Undertaker. He has showed up to WrestleMania. He is here. You see that guy in the middle. Weldon DeRamus has returned back to the panel. We are live. This is the Comment Hall and Roundtable discussion. This is the Summer Madness edition. And it could not be Summer Madness without Weldon DeRamus returning back to the panel. Weldon.
What's going on?
Glad to have you back, man. What's going on, man? Where have you been, man?
Working, man. Taking care of well, there's work though. Well, there's work.
Oh yeah. Well, we all gotta do that. So, man, we're glad to have you back, Al. You know, speak on it, brother. Speak.
Weldon, it's good to have you back. I'm looking over like I'm looking at you, but I'm actually looking at the fan. But you haven't been around in a while, man. I forgot what you look like. I was gonna start looking for you on a milk crate. Milk carton. Have you seen this man? Weldon DeRamus. But he is here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate your viewership. It's good to be back. We got a really good show for y'all. Weldon DeRamus. I guess we're gonna talk about something special. I don't know, but Weldon DeRamus is back on Wednesday nights. But we're good. We're good. All
right. Well, we got a lot to get around to tonight. We're starting a little later than usual, so hopefully the other guys will join us tonight. We got a couple of fellas at work should be coming in a little later on in the show. Larry's a little under the weather, so I'm not sure if he's going to join us tonight or not. But let's go ahead and get straight into the topic at hand. And this first topic tonight is the Avengers movie poster for Avengers 4 was leaked on yesterday. And so we've all got a chance to see that poster. And it pretty much confirms a lot of what we thought, what we've kind of been speculating already. Now, I can tell you, and I've just asked you guys, by the eye test, outside of Captain Marvel, I didn't see anything else different outside of, Rocket Raccoon, with the guy. So I don't know if this is going to be more of a Guardians/Avenger crossover, what have you, but, I mean, that's kind of just all I took away. I was really looking to see if there was any new characters on that poster, but I didn't see any. Did I miss anything? Did anybody see anything any different on that poster? And also, Al, what's your thoughts on that? What's your thoughts on the Avengers poster? What we saw yesterday? Because basically, you got depending on how you want to look at it, it's almost as if it's a spoiler for Infinity War.
It is, but it kind of harkens back to the end of Infinity War. I mean, they pretty much gave the spoiler at the end when they killed everybody and kept the ones that were still alive. So, for the most part, I think the most telling part, if of course that photo is real, two things. One, Captain Marvel is part of the team, which that's to be expected based on the ongoing rumors of the role that she's supposed to be playing in the movie. But what was more interesting to me was the Hulk. The Hulk was a lot more slimmer. He looked a little bit more like Bruce Banner than he did his actual Hulk persona. And I know yesterday I posted in the group that looks like they were actually gearing or aiming towards the whole Professor Hulk situation, where back in the early to mid 90s, I think somewhere between the early mid 90s, Bruce Banner had reconciled with the Hulk and he pretty much took over. I think it happened in the late 80s too, where he actually had access. Bruce Banner's psyche had control of the Hulk's body. So he had the brains of Bruce Banner, plus he had the strength up to a certain degree of the Hulk. So that's what it looks like they're gearing towards. It does look like in that particular photo that War Machine had new armor. I really didn't pay any attention to anything else aside from the fact that Hawkeye was, of course, there and Ant-Man. But we kind of speculated that too, that they were going to be there, which brings me back to something we talked about the last show about Ant-Man, the Ant-Man movie, and how the Ant-Man movie is going to tie into Infinity War. So You know, if that photo is a legit photo, I can see that lineup holding up until the movie comes out next year.
Well then, your thoughts on the Avengers poster?
I mean, I pretty much concur with Al and you. I mean, it pretty much tell you like who I was gonna be in the movie, pretty much. And I mean, if you know the comic, I mean, you know everybody's gonna come back, but we just don't know how they're gonna come back in the movie. But I mean, just wait and see.
Yeah, I you know, it's just one of those things where it's I mean, if you know, we're looking at it from a comic book speculation standpoint, then of course, you know, you can go ahead and get you some stuff. Now, I brought this up before, and it might have been even on last show. I know Al brought this up in private with me. It's a character that I really think that they're going to go towards. It's Kane the Conqueror, and for those, that book is still it's relatively undervalued. To be honest with you, it's a really undervalued book, and if you can find it, grab it because it's Avengers #8 if I'm not mistaken, either 8 or 5. It's one of them, and it's definitely something that I would say that you need to pick up because it's a villain that's more likely with the way Marvel is going, and so you know it remains to be seen. But we'll get more as I think we'll get a little bit more as the year progresses. Al, last thoughts on Avengers 4 before we move on.
Yeah, I had to put that church finger up, but to add to what you just said and to go back to some of the things that we've already talked about on the show, you know, reading some of the articles in reference to Kevin Feige, the director of Marvel Entertainment, as far as the movie aspect of everything, from what we do here, in addition to talking about movie comics and everything, we talk about speculation like Matt just said. So right now, it looks like that Marvel, after their phase 3, they're going to explore a lot of their space properties. I read an article earlier today where Kevin Feige he conjured up the name Moon Knight, even though he's not a space or galactic type character, but he brought up Moon Knight, and he also brought up Nova. And if anybody's familiar with the comics, Nova was a part of Nova Corps, which was in Guardians of the Galaxy, and allegedly the Nova Corps got destroyed by Thanos when he went to retrieve the Power Stone, I think. But be on the lookout for those types of books. And even though, just say if that particular poster or the promotional is in fact true, that was leaked yesterday, just keep in mind that Marvel has a way of implementing and introducing new characters in movies that you might not know, or reintroducing characters. I mean, by now everybody should know that the Red Skull made an appearance in this movie, in the Infinity War movie, and nobody knew. I mean, no one had any type of information, dirt sheets or nothing on the fact that Red Skull was going to be in that Infinity War movie. So just like with that, I will predict that with Infinity War, you're probably going to see more characters be introduced into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And it's going to be done in a way that we're not expected, because of course they really don't, they want things to be a surprise from this point forward. Infinity War is a gamble. And I'm going to say this one last thing about it. As far as it goes, I was reading articles for different actors and actresses that were in Infinity War, and believe it or not, most of them didn't know how they were going to end up. I mean, they knew based on footage and everything, but a lot of them were shocked because apparently, I don't know if they had multiple shoots or whatever the case is, but some, unless they were just fronting, didn't have a clue as to whether or not their character was going to survive. Now, whether or not that's true, that's, neither here nor there, but I think Marvel has something up their sleeve. So we'll be keeping y'all posted on any ideas or any type of speculation as it pertains to any first appearances or anybody that might be rumored to be in the movie. So,
all right, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our next topic, and our next topic is quite the surprise for a lot of Walking Dead fans. Was hoping Darrell would be on to get his reaction tonight, but it has been reported that Andrew Lincoln will only be in 6 episodes of The Walking Dead for the upcoming season, and Norman Reedus has got a massive payday behind this. It looks like to me that people heard that they did not want Daryl to leave, and basically Daryl is a new shit. I forgot his name, man. That's how long I had
Rick.
Rick. That tell you all you need to know about how much I watch Walking Dead.
Wow.
He's the new Rick, and I was taken aback by this. I was really surprised. So, I mean, at this point, the show's so bad that they've got to make like wild changes, and with the plethora of shows that are coming up this fall is really they've got to really start pulling out all the stops. And I'm gonna put this bold statement out there. I don't believe this is the last major person that's gonna be off the show. I believe we're in for one of these wild seasons of the unexpected going down. No, I'm being serious. I believe this is one of those seasons.
I say because I mean, personally, I ain't watched Walking Dead in a very long time. So,
I mean, and both of them have grown stale. Even Fear the Walking Dead is starting to get stale because they went that whole farm route. They knocked off, the main character, one of the main characters on there, and it's just it threw everything off for a loop, and it's just really strange. Al, you dug this news.
Well, from what I read, most of what's being said is that Andrew Lincoln, which plays Rick on the show, wanted to leave. And at this particular point, the details are sketchy as to why he wants to leave. It could be, with most actors, and I think this is what happened with the guy that played Nick, the one that they offed in the beginning of season, I think 3 or 4 of Fear the Walking Dead, the drug addict. Yeah, he wanted, I don't recall his real name, but he wanted to pursue other acting jobs, which, with most actors, you hear about that. You hear about acting fatigue. You've been hearing about that with Chris Evans, the guy that plays Captain America. Tobey Maguire mentioned it, back when he was playing Spider-Man. So, but in addition to Andrew Lincoln, Lauren Cohen, who plays Maggie, she's also going to be leaving as well. But one interesting note that I read on one of the sites, I can't remember if it was Collider or another website, is that with the way Rick is going to be written off the show, he's not going to die. They're not going to kill him off. Now, take that for what it's worth, but it says that from what I read, that it was more or less going to be a situation where he just walks off. He's like, just throws his hands up in the air and, wave him like he just don't care, just leave, like I'm done with this, F the BS, I'm out, I'm done. He's chunking up the deuces in the zombie apocalypse. Now, if that holds true, I can see one or two things happening in that situation. I can see them keeping a door open for him to come back if the series goes past the 10th or 11th season. Or I could see where they may at some point in time bring him back to give him a true Walking Dead send-off. Now, what that means to the average watcher, as far as the TV show watcher, is kind of a mixed bag. A lot of matter of fact, which I think is one of the dumbest things. There's nothing wrong with being a fan, and I'm gonna say this. There's nothing wrong with being a fan of anything. I'm a fan of the X-Men, but I complain about the X-Men movies like nobody's business. But ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake, writing a petition to keep Andrew Lincoln on the show is not a good look. Because for one, this man has made the decision that he wants to leave. So how could you write a petition for AMC to force this man to stay on a show that he no longer wants to be on? So the point I'm trying to make is use common sense. That is the public service announcement from Al Rainey in the Comic Hall and Roundtable discussion this evening. Moving right along. Norman Reedus is supposed to be getting up to $20 million. I don't know how a period of time because they really haven't said how long. That's a lot of guap, you know, to play.
$20 million, Al. That means he has to be on that for like he's a mainstay.
Right. Yeah. But see, they didn't specify how long that's going to be. So for all we know, that could be over another 2 or 3 seasons. But still, $20 million, that's actually going to put him in the upper echelon of oh my gosh, the guy that plays Jon Snow on Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I believe that's what I read. Don't quote me on that, folks, but it's gonna boost his salary up something serious. I mean, especially when Maggie's gone, a lot of the weight of the brunt of the show is gonna fall on him. But with all this stuff going on, I'm gonna pass the baton in a minute. You have to ask yourself, okay, so what about Dana Garai? Dana Garai has had much success in her character as Okoye, in Black Panther. You know, as with the other cast of the Black Panther movie, there's been a lot of movie offers, you know, for those individuals to, pursue other avenues. So, you know, Andrew Lincoln's leaving, Lauren Cohen's leaving. Excuse me. How long will it be for Michonne to be gone? You know, so Andrew Lincoln leaving could be a blessing. It could be a curse. It could be a shot in the arm to the show and breathe new life in it. Then again, it may be his death knell. We'll see.
Yeah, I think that that's a valid point that you brought up about Michonne. I mean, at this point, they really, I think what has happened, man, is, and we've talked about this on numerous occasions, is that the show has ran its course. And yeah, even the dogs realize that the show has ran its course. And I think that what you've got is they're trying to come up with stuff that they should have been doing about 2 seasons ago, 3 seasons ago.
Mm-hmm.
And now it comes off to me, it's just desperation. And I really, to be honest with you, I really still don't think this show has maybe three to 4 seasons left in it at best. It's really going to that point where the milk is going stale.
Yeah. And
so I think that Andrew Lincoln is a sign of the times. I think that's letting you know that it's almost on its last leg. And so it'll be interesting to see where they go from here. So let's keep this train moving. We're gonna go past that. We're gonna go into we're gonna make some adjustments here. We're gonna go into Solo. Now I've talked to several people this week. All of which saw Solo, and they've all said they enjoyed it, which kind of took me by surprise. And considering that the reaction was that the movie was fair at best. You got controversy, you know, surrounding the president, Lucasfilm, and with Miss Kennedy. And so, is that do we see Star Wars going? I hate to use this as an analogy, but the way of the Walking Dead with these Solo movies and stuff, man. Are we? Do you think that they messed up when they changed the formula of giving us these origin movies instead of just letting us keep solid Star Wars movies? And has Solo paid the price for that?
Well, Solo has most definitely paid the price. Now, to answer your question, me personally, I don't think that the woes with Solo, and to a lesser degree, The Last Jedi, I don't think that's going to stop Disney. I think what's going to happen, I mean, Disney is already slated when they first picked up, Star Wars from Lucasfilms, from George Lucas, that they already had a plethora, that word again, a plethora, Larry, a plethora of projects. As a matter of fact, after this last Star Wars movie comes out to complete the third trilogy, they're going to be working on another trilogy after that. There was rumors going around where they were wanting to do a Lando Calrissian standalone movie, which me personally, that would have been the only reason for me to go see it, is to go see Donald Glover, because of all the people, well, I only know a couple of people that I've seen it, Dave and Clarence, that are in the group with us. They saw it and they liked it. Lando was probably, from what I understand, the most standout character, although his role in the movie wasn't that heavy. So, yeah, to answer your question, I don't think that's going to actually affect them. From what TC had indicated some time ago, Disney or Lucasfilm didn't expect for Solo to actually do much anyway. And as a matter of fact, and I went back and watched the show, it's uncanny with how he explained it, but how TC explained it, that's exactly what happened. They didn't expect for the movie to make more than 130 million or 40 million the first weekend. And that's exactly what happened. So shout out to TC for providing that information. But as it stands, the whole debacle with Kathleen Kennedy, she's the president over Lucasfilm, more or less is one of those situations where a lot of fans are really upset over the fact that they feel like there's a lot of PC being pumped into the Star Wars movies. And what I mean by PC, politically correctness and all that kind of stuff, the SJW, or the social justice warrior movement. And their argument, which I could see and understand, is that, hey, we understand that there is a need for diversity and inclusion and everything, but we also understand that there's a need for us to just be able to get away from societal ills and everything that's going on in the world and in the United States and elsewhere, and allow for us to suspend our disbelief and go out into space and swashbuckle with the rest of them. And a lot of things that would be put in a movie just to further an agenda doesn't need to be there. And I get that. I understand that completely. So this whole situation with Kathleen Kennedy, there's been a grassroots movement, and it trips me out because, there's been a bunch of YouTube content creators, creating channels about this, that, and the third, and there's a movement going on, and people are pretty much giving Lucasfilms that EA treatment that we talk about all the time, with how they did Battlefront and stuff. So whether or not it's going to change the tide of how we see the Star Wars movies in the future remains to be seen. Me personally, I have no desire to see Solo. So unless it comes on, on Netflix or somebody owns it and I watch it, I probably won't go to the movies to see it, but we'll see how, this story unfolds in the future. So
did you have any thoughts on
well, to speak on what Al just said is, people, like you said, some things are starting getting a little bit too PC. And the thing people got to realize, first and foremost, Star Wars is first a fantasy movie. It's sci-fi. So if you don't stay true to the sci-fi aspect of it and bring in all the political stuff, nobody's not gonna like that. That's plain and simple. That's just what it is. And you can sit up here and complain, say, well, they don't have so much diversity in it, they don't have this and they don't have this. Well, if you put it in like trying to walk on like somebody stepping on some eggshells or anything like that, it's not gonna be true to actually the film itself. And that's why it made what it did. You veering off the reservation pretty much.
Yeah, and this was a failed experiment in my book. This is the way I look at it, as a failed experiment. Now, and I've said this before. I said this on last show. if you want to do a you want to do a movie, and that will welcome people, is it's a Boba Fett movie. It's a character that really we all know he just showed up in Star Wars. And we got a little bit of backstory. We know a little bit about where he comes from, but he is this interesting character.
Yeah.
They're not picking interesting characters and developing them like they did with Rogue One. That was a solid build up of characters in that, and we got a good understanding of how things got to the way it was. I think Solo was just something that was pulled out of someone's behind in the office, and I just feel like they just felt like everybody was gonna watch it just because it's a Star Wars movie, and they got egg on their face.
Cash grab.
Okay, it's exactly what it was. Al.
And yeah, and that's exactly what I feel like it was. It was a cash grab, much like TC mentioned. One thing that I wanted to add, excuse me for a second, fellas. One thing that I wanted to add is that, and you just mentioned it, Matt, Star Wars Rogue One, those were characters that you knew little about because those were brand new characters in the Star Wars mythos. And those characters, they for the short time that they were on screen, in my personal opinion, they gave the characters as much depth as they could within that hour and 30, an hour and 40 minutes. And with the way the storytelling was told, in my personal opinion, it seemed that particular movie transitioned seamlessly into A New Hope. I remember when I watched that movie Rogue One the first time, and the feeling that I got when that everything led up to when Darth Vader stormed the ship that Princess Leia was on. Immediately after I got out of the movie theater that day, I went home and I watched A New Hope. And that's a testament to the fact that you can put, a quality movie out with new characters. And if you want to exercise the whole inclusion thing, then fine. I'm all for people being included. But when you get to the point to where you start using, like, for example, Lando Calrissian in this Solo movie was considered a pansexual. And if you don't know what a pansexual is, look it up. But it's a person that's generally sexually attracted to any and everything. And I mean, when you already have the lore of an individual already out, I mean, Lando in Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi had a thing for Leia. But that still doesn't detract from the fact that he could have been pansexual, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, when you're looking at those types of movies, you're gonna have aspects, certain, maybe some political overtones or social overtones. That's to be expected because life imitates art, and art imitates life. But at the same time, don't allow that to be your sole platform to try to indoctrinate or put things out there to, push some form of agenda or purpose. Just allow for things to happen without having to, put yourself in a situation where, okay, all these movies are going to be, it's just like watching the next Star Wars movie with Finn and Rey, and all of a sudden Public Enemy comes out with Fight the Power, and they start just choking everybody to death. And, it's like, okay, so what is Public Enemy doing in this particular movie? Well, we're trying to prove a point that this, that, and the third. Okay, well, you could do that without just being overt with it. And that's my thing. I'm all about social issues or whatnot, but I think that when you're dealing with a certain thing, keep it to a point to where people can enjoy it. If you want to put your overtones in there, throw your hints in there. Prime example, Winter Soldier, which is still one of my best, the favorite Marvel movies, had quite a few political overtones and social overtones in it, but they didn't overdo it, so.
All right, we're going to move on to news that was released today. GameStop is in the comic book business now. Now, before we shoot him to shreds, which we will do, there will be blood. Movie Stop sold comic books at one point. Now, as I was thinking to myself this evening, what you're getting is basically stuff that was not sold off, stuff that's in warehouses. It's basically they're gonna put that stuff on shelves and sell it. Now the question comes into for us collectors. So what happens when someone walks in with a Hulk 181? What are you gonna sell that at? Because we know if they mark up games, then of course they're gonna mark up comics, correct? Wouldn't that be the mode of thought?
Yeah.
Hulk 181s are gonna be going for $6,000 at GameStop. You know, or Al was joking about this when we read the news earlier. So are people gonna be able to trade in comic books for games? I mean, how are we going? I mean, what is the premise here? What are they trying to accomplish? That's the question at hand. And so I just find this reeks of desperation from GameStop, because we know GameStop was having trouble financially. We know they were having trouble financially. They're not making any. They don't make any money on new games. We know this. They don't make any money on new games. They make their money on trade-ins. So if you're introducing comic books, where are you trying to go with this? And is this something that you really want to get involved in? Because now what you're going to start seeing, I mean, you saw it already. I mean, they had the Hastings variant and all that, but you're going to see a lot more of these GameStop exclusives. And I'm thinking they're going to start tagging this stuff along with games. Like, you're going to get, if you reserve Madden 2020, you get the exclusive Perillo variant, 1 of 50. But you have to pre-order the Rockstar Edition, Grand Edition, which we'll talk about next segment. So I mean, I don't quite understand what they're doing. And if someone's in the comments that can make light of that, then please tell us. I just don't understand why they would even go that route, considering that they don't even have a good track record in it anyway. You know, and what about the employees? You know, you have employees going to be getting this stuff. I mean, we saw that over at Movie Stop here before it shut down. They were getting all the good stuff. You know, I had to scramble to get stuff. And then you go look, and they got all the good stuff behind the counter. So what are the rules on that? This is a murky water, because you're going to have somebody on the staff at GameStop that is a collector, and they are going to know. And so that opens the door. So are you selling? I mean, who is benefiting who here, and why is this being done? Those are questions that need to be asked. Why is this being done? I don't even think they gave us a good explanation in the article of why. They just said we're going to be doing it. Al, you work for GameStop and you work for Movie Stop. Give us a little insight on this, my friend.
Well, you know, when I worked at Movie Stop, you know, I worked there as a store manager. So at the time when I worked there, they didn't have comics. But, you know, like Larry pointed out in the hall earlier today, you know, during the time that Movie Stop was selling comics, they were selling new releases, and a lot of the stuff, like you mentioned, was a lot of overstock that they got from warehouses and stuff. But they did sell a good, you know, share of, you know, new stuff in reference to DC and Marvel or whatnot. My thing is that kind of like what he mentioned as well with GameStop is pretty much, I have to wholeheartedly agree with Larry on this. GameStop is going the way of the dodo bird. You know, 5-6 years down the line, I don't see GameStop being any type of retail threat. Unfortunately, you know, the era of retail is really going the way of the dinosaur as a whole, you know, but especially with the business model that GameStop has, like you mentioned, you know, they don't really make money on new games. Most of all their money is made on the ridiculous markups, you know, where you trade a game in for $6, and then they turn around and sell that same game for $40, which is like a 800% markup. My math is probably wrong. But I surmise, man, that if GameStop sells comic books, it's probably going to be similar to what Movie Stop did. I would shudder to think that I could go in the the GameStop and pull some of my collection and say, hey, I got X-Men 94 and New Mutants 98. I want to get a PlayStation 4 Pro. And they tell me that with New Mutants 98 and X-Men 94, I can get $60 store credit and $33 for cash. Like I would probably spontaneous combust and just blow up the whole store. Because I mean, you look at it, and apparently what they're trying to do is create additional revenue streams within the store, similar to Movie Stop. Now, I will say that at the time that Movie Stop did that, Movie Stop and GameStop had separated, so they weren't sister companies anymore. So it could just be that GameStop is taking a page out of Movie Stop's book and saying, hey, you know, they did it. It worked out for them for a while. But the other caveat that I mentioned in our group earlier is like, okay, just imagine, if you will, ladies and gentlemen, myself, Matt, and Weldon, we all live in the middle Georgia area, okay? And there's several GameStops in the city. All the GameStops in Macon, with the exception of one, the one on Gray Highway, are like shoe boxes. Where are you going to sell comic books? You wouldn't have enough room to actually put anything out worthwhile. For me personally, as a comic book collector, hey man, I'm going to GameStop, man. I'm gonna buy that new X-Men #5. No, I'm not gonna do that, because GameStop is not gonna have a collection or a wide variety. Now they may get exclusive, like you mentioned, Matt, and then they might actually do that whole thing where, you know, if you order Red Dead Redemption, you get this limited edition Art Germ version cover or something like that, just to get people in. But at the same time, how many video game players are avid comic book collectors to the point where they even know who Art Germ is? You get what I'm saying? So,
Weldon, your thoughts on GameStop jumping into the comic book business?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's no way I would send my comic book collection to GameStop. I'd rather go to a flea market and give my comic books away than to go to GameStop. I'm sorry, I would. But at the same time, though, I would rather support locally than even give GameStop my comics anyway. Because for one, like you said, it's a GameStop, so where are they gonna put all the comic books at? I would rather go to Comics Plus or Heroes and Villains or wherever and get my comics than somewhere like GameStop.
Hal.
Yeah, the whole thing is I don't quite, it doesn't make any sense. And so
yeah, it really don't.
We'll see how it turns out, which would be very interesting. So we shall see. Let's move along this train. Let's get this train rolling. We're gonna move right into speaking of video games, we're gonna roll into what was probably the letdown of the month. And the month just came in, and that is the news that Red Dead Redemption is getting in on this EA business model. And a lot of people upset with Rockstar going the almost pay to play route of EA Sport, EA in general. Well, your thoughts on Rockstar requiring you to get these special packs and all of this hoopla, all these grand editions, and the red edition, the black edition, the yellow edition, the horse edition, the Lone Ranger edition,
Well, I learned my lesson a long time ago. The last collection of stuff I got was Mortal Kombat 9. I got the arcade stick. I got the book mounts, that collection, and all that stuff. I pretty much was burnt out because I was getting collections of everything. God of War 3, I had the box that you put stuff in. I mean, Grand Theft Auto, I had the bag and the what is it, lockbox that came with it at the time? What is it, Grand Theft Auto 4?
Got it right there in the back, right behind me.
And I mean, I pretty much was burnt out with all this stuff to begin with. I mean, a long time ago. So, I mean, for me, I'm just getting standard edition. I'm not stealing all the extra stuff. I'm not doing it. I'm just gonna get a regular game and be done and be happy. Because I mean, it's like you said, they start cash. You know what I'm saying? Just cash grabbing, just going here, going there. No, I'm not doing it. I'm good with standard edition.
I think this collector's edition is. I think it's got to the point where it's gone too far.
Yeah.
I remember there was a time when the collector's edition was a collector's edition.
Exactly.
You know, it was one. You didn't see it all the time. Now it's just basically tacking on to the game itself, and then that still does not include the actual stuff that you get. Weldon, you played Battlefield 3 and 4 with TC and I.
Yeah.
We spent almost 200. We spent over $200 on that game.
The prestige, to get this prestige, it was the extra $50?
$50. Then you had to get the modes, actual extra maps. So about 25, roughly about 25.
And the thing I don't realize, man, you messing up on the reason why stuff the way it is now is you have to go by example. If you go by the way God of War 4 example is, you could not go wrong.
Hold tight. We're gonna talk about God of War next, so save that.
Okay, I'll save that. But I'm just saying, like, go ahead and give the consumers what they want.
All right. Al, your thoughts on Rockstar Games and their delve into the EA loot crate market?
As I say with anything in reference to developers, you know, their whole purpose is to make money. I get that. What I don't get is, you know, how you can put out a product and nickel and dime the consumer to death, especially when it comes down to the aspect of the game itself. When TC posted the information in the group the other day, what really caught me was what you mentioned about the single player content information, you know, or DLC, so to speak, to boost you ahead of other online players, to give you that advantage, which was the same thing that EA was doing with Battlefront. Now, as it stands, again, they got to eat too, but you're talking about Rockstar Games. You're talking about a game that's highly anticipated, that people have been chomping at the bit for years. Red Dead Redemption 2. Compared to how they treated GTA 5, you know, for them to put out a collector's edition and the game is not included in the collection edition, is, to quote you, Matt, is asinine.
Yep.
And it's an abomination before God. So you mean to tell me that I have to pay, and I don't know how much that major one that had the cigarette playing, the cigarette cards, the playing cards, the puzzle, the catalog, the treasure map. I don't know how much that's gonna cost. I'm pretty sure it's probably gonna be a good $130 or $150 firm. And then you telling me I gotta turn around and pay another $59.99 if I want the collector's edition. But even if I don't want the collector's edition, I can get the game. But in order for me to have a competitive edge, I'm gonna have to play Red Dead Redemption 2 twice as hard as the next man. If he just dropped $20, $30 and can level up instantaneously. I think there's a disconnect with a lot of developers when it comes down to the consumer. And many of these developers should have taken a note when the people, you know, meaning the consumers, went after EA for that debacle that they attempted with Battlefront. And just as sure as the sun shines, EA changed their stance, especially after Disney got on to them. Like, hey, y'all need to do right, or else we're gonna snatch this away from you. Unfortunately, with Rockstar, they own the Red Dead property. So if they are attempting to do what EA was trying to do, it's going to be a little harder to try to dissuade them not to do it. But in the same token, it's left up to the consumer to determine whether or not they want to follow through with it. Case in point, and we talked about this game, and Weldon, you got to fail on this game in the hall, but I own it too. Marvel's Capcom Infinite. You know, I had told y'all from jump when we was talking about that game, I wasn't gonna buy that game brand new, and I didn't. And I think what's gonna have to happen, you know, the consumers are gonna have to start talking with their wallets. Money talks, BS walks. You know, when a game starts slipping and sales are abysmal, then that's when the gaming companies are gonna say, "Hey, man, we need to change our strategy." Will that happen with Red Dead Redemption 2? Don't know. That game may outsell Grand Theft Auto when it comes out. So we'll just have to see.
Yeah, I think that if the consumers, us as consumers, we don't buy this stuff, I think that the price would be paid. I mean, if enough people decide not to do it, I mean, we saw this with EA, and they're doing you know, you see what they're doing with Battlefield, and so you know, I think that if enough people revolt, it will fix it. But I'll tell you this: if people go out and buy this in droves, we will pay the price when Grand Theft Auto comes out.
Oh yeah, for sure. We'll probably have to pay to go to, because you know that's supposed to be like Grand Theft Auto is supposed to be like a country, like you could travel from state to state or something like that. So you might have to pay extra just to go from their fictional Georgia to Tennessee or something, you know.
So hopefully, man, people look at this and enough hell will be raised to where this is not the case. But what is the case is what you see with God of War. God of War. We got to talk about God of War. God of War is, in my opinion, the best game this decade. I think, but this new God of War is the best game of this decade.
I can't argue with that.
Yep.
The amount of things that you can do in that game is amazing. The potential DLC for that game is warranted because you do so much in the game itself. And there's still opportunities there for DLC that makes sense. There's DLC that makes sense if it's there. But there's so much to do in that game. You beat the game, you still got boss fights. You can travel. You can go all over the place. You can do anything you want. When you take time and put time into a game like Santa Monica Studios, and you give the people what they want, you're rewarded for it. And I think I heard today that this game is on pace to be like one of the all-time PS exclusives or something like that. Some kind of stat.
One of the highest selling PS exclusives forever.
Yeah.
Since PS exclusives were created.
Yeah, so we're talking going past Gran Turismo. We're talking about going past
The Last of Us.
We're talking Uncharted.
Yup.
What's my other game? With Aliens Resistance.
Yeah.
I mean, got all of these projects that have been put out, and then you look at God of War. It's a game that people are not even beating that game because they don't even want to beat it. They're just taking their time. They're just taking their time. And so when you can explore, I mean, just the work that they put into that game is absolutely phenomenal. And you're still seeing people finding stuff that you thought that was, not there, but people are finding these games. I mean, finding things in this game. And so I have to tip my hat off to Santa Monica and tell you, I mean, these guys are the best game of the decade. All right. Al, your thoughts on the masterpiece that is God of War?
Man, what can I say about God of War that hadn't been said about Afghanistan? Nah, that's a Dave Chappelle joke. But anyway, man, God of War is the new God of War. The game, let me just say this. The series has always been great. The whole, progression from Kratos from the first one, the PS2, and then the PS3, the PS Vita, and now the PS4. Those games have always been great. They fall into the echelon of games like Jack and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank, along that line. Uncharted, Mario, the God of War for the PlayStation 4, in my honest opinion, it exceeded all my expectations. Well, let me just say it exceeds my expectations because I haven't beaten the game. And the reason why is that it harkens back to what Matt just said. Ladies and gentlemen, when I first bought the game and I bought it at launch, I started playing the game and I was going through it like a speed demon, like, pew! I mean, I was going through it. And then I started noticing stuff like, hey, you know what? I just missed this area. It said you can dock right here, or I'm in the canoe and just riding around with Kratos and Atreus. I still can't pronounce that joke. Atreus. I hear his name all the time and I still say it wrong. Atreus.
Boy.
Boy. I like how you said boy. But anyway, but it's like, daggum, I missed this. So I go back. So what I did, I actually just started over. I started over from the beginning and I made it my business. I bought the strategy guide and I said, nope, I'm not even using the strategy guide. Let my brother get it. And I just started going and exploring everything. And when I say that there is a lot of stuff in that game, there was one complaint by a small select few people, which, people gonna complain about any and everything. One of the complaints were, it didn't have any DLC. But I mean, if you play that game and you play it to actually, I'm serious, if you play that game and you play that game to actually play it, you don't need any DLC. Because there's so much stuff in that game that you can acquire, that you could collect, the amount of armor, the amount of as far as upgrading your weapons, the runic spells and all that kind of stuff. And what I'm about to say, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching and if you haven't played God of War and you want to play it and you don't want to hear what I'm saying, please mute your mic, your speakers for at least 7 to 8 seconds. Start now. But when I found out that the game had its own version of the Infinity Gauntlet in it, I said, okay, that under normal circumstances would have been DLC in another game.
Yeah.
They took the time out to actually give homage to Marvel and adding a weapon in the game that mimics the Infinity Gauntlet. And I'm like, wow. Santa Monica Studios did nothing short of put out a Game of the Year game. And my prediction, unless something comes out, Red Dead 2 is not going to count because it's coming out so late in the year. But I predict that God of War is more than likely going to win Game of the Year.
Yeah.
That is a phenomenal game. And a lot of companies need to take note. They have opened up the door for DLC. However, I read Corey Barlog, I think that's his name, had mentioned that they really had no plans to do DLC because they wanted to go ahead and start working on the next game, which in my opinion shows determination because like I said, the game is so vast and immense. I'm probably 60-70% done and it's still a lot that I haven't uncovered. They did a great job. They did a wonderful job with that game. Everything was jam up. The story is just really intriguing. And I can't wait to see how it's going to end because everybody keep telling me, wait till you get to the end. Wait till you get to the end. Wait till you get to the end. Well, I'm working on getting towards the end, but I'm trying to complete that game at 100%. I know you've already beat it, Matt. So
yeah, I beat. I'm actually going back to try to get that piece of equipment that you just were talking about. I'm probably gonna work on that. Maybe sometime over the weekend or sometime within the next couple of weeks. So I'll be going back into it. Uh, so, all right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna move on, man. We're gonna step away from God of War. We're gonna go right into E3. E3 is starts technically starts on what Sunday? Sunday night?
the 10th, I think, the 9th or the 10th.
Sunday night. So Sunday night E3 basically gets started. Um, what are you looking for, man? All I can say is it's pretty much gonna be Red Dead. What everybody's gonna be wanting to see. Spider-Man.
I was gonna say, yeah, Spider-Man 4. I mean Spider-Man, yeah.
Spider-Man is the main one of the main things there. So Al, we'll go back to you again. E3, your thoughts, my friend?
Really, I'm gonna tell you something. Tell both of y'all something. And well, I don't like how you jump back on like you was a ninja, so like from Ninja Gating or something. Popeye. But anyway, I'm looking for Mortal Kombat 11. That's what I'm looking for. It's been a lot of wild speculation that Mortal Kombat 11 is going to be dropped, or some footage or something. And, watching some videos on YouTube is more or less, well, this is how NetherRealm normally does it, because Mortal Kombat 10 or Mortal Kombat X came out in 2015, and then they dropped 2014, one of them, but then Injustice was dropped last year, I think. So they're saying that normally with the way that games have been dropped from NetherRealm since Mortal Kombat 9, that they try to drop a game every 2 years. So it's heavily rumored that Mortal Kombat 11 is going to be announced, and they may have some gameplay footage at E3. So, aside from the Spider-Verse game, which looks amazing, I'm really checking for Mortal Kombat 11. That's what I'm looking for. How about you, Weldon?
I think the main one was, I'd probably say Spider-Man and Red Dead was one of the two I was looking for. Let me see what's anything else. Let me see. I can't think of anything right now, but mainly those two, Spider-Man and Red Dead. Because from what I've seen with the gameplay of Spider-Man, it looks really good. So I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah. It's gonna be a dope game. I'm sure they're gonna drop some bombs. I'm sorry, Matt, but yeah, I'm sure they're gonna drop some bombs on us. But go ahead, sir.
I was just gonna say that. Also, I think Rockstar this week announced they're gonna be doing a Superman game, which it's kind of flattening to me, man. I really was hoping for like a Flash, Ninja Turtles, stuff like that, man. But I mean, Superman is. But you do fly around Metropolis the whole time. I mean,
you know what? Aside from being a chump, Superman, I give him credit. If they do a Superman game along the veins as Batman, I mean, it's kind of hard to figure out how they will actually do certain things. Like you said, he flying around looking through buildings with his X-ray vision or whatnot. But I'm sure if the game is anything like the Batman, like Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, it'll be a good game. Because those were some standout games as well.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much about the only thing I can think of that I'm really looking forward to at E3. It's, I guess it's more a thing of this. As you get older, it is what it is. They don't make games like they used to make them, like the rotation. You don't see them as much as anymore. Maybe we'll get some fresh new IPs that'll be captivating. I mean, if you've seen one FIFA, you've seen them all. You've seen one Madden, you've seen them all. So
I hate they pushed back Days Gone By, though. I did hate they did that, but I'd rather for it to be an actual good game than to have some rush game that's going to be garbage.
Yeah. Last thing you want is a game with that magnitude being rushed out there. It's time for rapid reacts, guys. Since we get close to wrapping the show. Weldon has not been on in such a long time. He's not familiar with how rapid reacts. So rapid reacts is quick thought on a particular subject, and we're going to fire things up with Luke Cage.
He disappeared. No. Matt's in the upside down. Oh my God, he's gone. There he goes.
He's back. He's back. He's back.
He's back from the upside down.
All right, Al, Daughters of the Dragon. One word.
It was nice.
All right. Weldon, thoughts on Daughters of the Dragon? Luke Cage.
I'm ready for it. Hands down, I'm ready for it.
That's more than one word.
Ready. Put it like that. Ready.
If I had to put one word on it, I would put interesting. Interesting. And the reason I say interesting is I think that scene alone, if you don't want to hear, for those who are not comic book readers of Luke Cage and don't want to know, then I, like Al would say, go ahead and hit the mute button for about 5 minutes, maybe 3. But I think that scene is going to prelude to Misty Knight getting her arm. Because if you look in the trailer, she wants to punch the dude, but she doesn't have the arm. And she keeps looking down. So I think at some point, I think she won't get that arm in Luke Cage, which is probably midway through the season. Close towards the end.
But I thought she, at one point, I seen a picture a while back where she already has the arm.
Yeah, but I think that's towards the end. Because you have to keep in mind.
Okay, I got you. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Fight, she was fighting without it. So that tells me that it's probably a little way midway through. By the way, you can still pick up the first Daughters of the Dragon. If you specking, you can probably get that. You can find that in the butt bins if you look good enough. So if you definitely want to grab that, you definitely want to grab that run of Daughters of the Dragon. But if you can find that, and so let's move on to the next one. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse trailer thoughts. Fascinating movie. Weldon, one word on Spider-Verse.
Good.
All right. Al.
Intrigued.
Still pick up the first Daughters of the Dragon. And Larry's joined us. He is
Larry.
And mute your audio there, Larry. Grab that.
Gotcha.
We got the echo. Yeah, make sure you mute your Facebook. Hey, man. Glad to have you, man. How you feeling, brother?
Hey, bro. I'm all good, man.
Yeah, man. He sounded like a hit car, man. We
What the hit car sound like? Golly.
Brother Larry, with your thoughts on we'll go back for you. Your thought, since he hadn't been on, what's your thoughts on the Luke Cage trailer, man? The Daughters of the Dragon.
Oh man, I can't wait to see it, man. Season 2 should be good. I thought season 1 was a little slow, so she got that story. Season 2 give me nothing but action, so I'm ready.
All right, and the last topic right before you got on was thoughts on Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh man, that had Spider-Gwen in it, so man, I can't wait.
All right, next up on the docket, Jared Leto's standalone movie has been announced. My word is excited. Al, your word?
Indifferent.
Larry, your word?
Terrible.
Weldon, your word?
I don't know.
It's 3 words.
3 words. We gotta get you back down to Twitch kind of. All right. Next up, rumored Black Lightning Flash crossover. Al, one word.
I ain't giving you a word. I'm just.
Larry, your thoughts? Black Lightning Flash.
DC.
Weldon, your word.
That's my word.
My word. Typical.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, original Teen Titans may return. Al, your thoughts?
Well, let me just say this right quick. The original Teen Titans, according to the news, it may return under the condition that the Teen Titans Go animated movie is successful. Now, personally, I kind of like Teen Titans Go. I think it's funny. Some people don't. But I absolutely love the Teen Titans cartoon. That was a really good cartoon. So at the expense of the Teen Titans Go movie being successful just to see Teen Titans come back, I'm all for it.
All right. Larry?
Yes.
All
Good
right.
stuff.
Now, he said that about a DC product now, ladies and gentlemen. He said,
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Rarefied air. What are your thoughts?
I don't like Teen Titans Go, but if they, I mean, like in the article I read, I would go see it just for them to actually bring the series back. Because I mean, if it's like, I mean, it's a win-win for them. If people like it, they're gonna bring it back. I mean, either way, they're gonna make some money off from it. So I'd rather for it to come back though.
I think the show coming back anyway, man. I think what they're trying to do, they're trying to boost up hype for Teen Titans Go, and then I think Teen Titans gonna end up on the streaming service. They got 2 cents.
All right.
And you know what? Before we go, and what to bounce off of Larry, that makes sense because you know Young Justice is coming back later on this year, so all of that kind of tying hand in hand. So I can see that happening.
My word is okay. Next up, something in here, Al. As we hadn't talked about it, the Equalizer 2 trailer has been floating around.
Oh God!
And I enjoyed the first one. I absolutely loved the first one. I was a fan of the TV show. I was a diehard fan of the old TV show, which I think I might change my cell phone ringing to that. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Change it to that. Especially, you know, right when the dude in the elevator approach him and they go black, and then it ding, 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 ding. Yeah, you know that's the best part. I'm just gonna say, man, I'm just amped up, man, waiting for that movie to come out, and it's like they keep showing the trailer on TV, and I'm like, bro, don't tease me, man. I'm ready for it. You know, I like old Denzel in these type roles, man. I love him in these old roles like that. Al, your thoughts on the Equalizer 2?
Bruh, I forgot all about that one, man. Equalizer 2, man. Yeah. The first one was, I put the first one on par with the first John Wick. It was one of the movies that people weren't really checking for. And people weren't checking for. And then when it came out, I was like, hey, man, you seen Equalizer with Denzel, man? That was light. You know, it was lit.
Yeah,
so
it was a sleeper.
It was a sleeper. And so that second one, man.
John Wick sleeper, though.
No, John Wick, the first one was a sleeper, man. A lot of folks weren't checking for it. That movie was.
No, I mean, they ain't John Wick stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, man, that Equalizer 2, yeah, that's gonna be a must see. I'm gonna go check that one
out. Larry, your thoughts on Equalizer 2?
My word would be, man. The first one was okay. I wasn't that excited about it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Denzel did his part, man. But I just wasn't. I have to get out. I'll pass. That's my word. Pass.
You excited about taking taking what you call it, the Pelican 2, whatever it was.
What?
The subway movie. We was on the subway train.
The Pelican Brief.
No. What was that movie when he was on the subway train that couldn't stop?
Yeah, what's the name? I know what you're talking about.
Don't talk about yeah, that's the one there. Like he like that one.
I think the name, but I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah, I can't remember it, man. That, and then you got the other one where the bank robbers was. What was that movie where the folk robbing the bank?
Inside Man.
Yeah.
I don't think I like the Denzel movie, man. Probably since Training Day. Honestly, like just be excited.
You didn't like Man on Fire?
Yeah, it was one of the, once again, it was a pass.
Training Day was solid. That's world class movie there.
Just his role in that, man, was excellent.
What your thoughts on Equalizer 2?
I slept on the first one until I watched it. I figured it was real good, but yeah, I want to see the second. I want to see a second. I can't wait for it to come out.
All right, so we're gonna move on here. Larry, I like this here. New Wolverine miniseries announced. Your thoughts, Larry?
Excited.
Of course.
I'm anxious to see what they're gonna do with I mean, it's not much you can do with Wolverine at this point. I think they should have did a little bit longer. Beginning, middle, and end to his story, and you just don't find that too often in comics. And when you bring him back, what do you do at this point? Because he can't be the same guys when he passed. He can't be the leader of the Jean Grey School.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really try to take him back to being an anti-hero because that's the thing to do now? Or what do you really do with him at this point? So it's kind of like, I'm anxious to see what they're going to try to do with him. I know well, I'm not going to spoil it, but he's supposed to have a new power as well.
So talked about that today.
But yeah, I'm anxious. Charles Soule's done a good job with the Death of Wolverine and the Hunt for Wolverine. You know, then he's going to have the Return of Wolverine. So I'm anxious to see what they're going to do with it.
I think that they would be served. It would be served well to kind of give him more of that 80s and 90s type, you know, like you said, anti-hero. Just kind of let him do his own thing.
It's so cliche now though. Back then when they first did it, you know, Wolverine was looked at, and that's what made the character so popular at the time, is that he was different. But now the anti-hero thing is so cliche. It's like, what can you do to really spice it up?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Al, your thoughts? Wolverine is one of your favorite guys as well.
Well, Larry got me beat in that department. You know, he used to be one of my favorites till they started pimping him out, but that's another story. But you know what? I agree with Larry though, because you know, during the 80s and the 90s, well, actually during the late 70s to like the mid 90s, Wolverine had a mystique about him, man, that was like, it was crazy. I mean, the man was a samurai. You know, he had dealings with the hand. I mean, he was all over the place. You know what I'm saying? So now in this particular time, since they've pretty much done all that stuff with him, you know, I mean, what else can he be? I mean, I guess a mentor to Honey Badger and X-23, you know. But for the most part, I'm interested in seeing what they're gonna do with him, because since he's been gone for a couple of years, you know, maybe they've come up with some ideas that'll put a new take, a new spin on this character. So we'll see.
Well, your thoughts?
I mean, y'all pretty much said everything. I mean, I just want. I mean, it pretty much, he's done everything. It just, they need to take him in a new direction and see where it goes and let it run with it. I mean, there's nothing more original, much more he can really do that we already don't know about. So hopefully this something new will be something that we all like.
All right. Moving on here. The Atlanta Comic Convention is just almost about a month away. Me and Larry, we talked about this today while we were at our LCS. Everybody's on the panels going. Al, your thoughts as we get closer? This will probably be our next to last convention.
Hey man, right now it feel like Christmas 1983. I am excited. I feel like a lot of the stuff that I'm looking for in the realm of back issues and some keys, I am going to find that Friday. So I'm stoked. You know, I already got my ticket, and I won't be on that train to head it up to Atlanta, Maine on the 13th of July.
Yes, sir.
Can you dig it? I
can dig it. Well, then, can you dig it?
Yeah, it's my first one going to that. So you know how we were when we first went to Dragon Con.
Yeah.
Everything. So and we enjoyed ourselves. So yeah, I'm pretty much sure we're gonna enjoy ourselves on this, and I'm ready for it.
Blair?
Oh man, man, it's at the Congress Center, man. So I'm just waiting to see how much we can find, and what's the strategy, man? Like, do you buy early, or do you walk around first, or it's like Al say, man. It's like Christmas almost, man. You just thinking about, what do I need? Can I find it? You're gonna see a lot of stuff, man, that you probably didn't think you wanted, and you'll probably find it there. So I'm excited because it's supposed to be huge, and season, Marvel stuff, and just see what we can find.
Yeah, I'm thrilled, man. I am. You all know went to the Savannah Comic Convention last year. No, not last year. Excuse me. Last month. What month was it? Last month? Yeah, last month.
Yeah, last month.
Yeah, last month. And I've already said that venue was big, so I can only imagine the scope of it being at the Congress Center. So I'm excited. Definitely excited for it. We're going to go ahead and move on here to our top 10 list. Our top 10 list this week is the best video games of the decade so far. And we're going to let Weldon start things off. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I was going down my rundown list. Al?
Oh, I was just going to say that I've been to several cons, man, and me going over my list is pretty much on the verge of what is it? OCD.
OCD.
And that's crazy, man. I'm ready for it to come and go, man. I'm done.
Well, top 10 list, top 10 video games of the decade, my friend.
For me, I had to think about this for a second, because I mean it's so much stuff out there that I don't play. Number 10 for me was Borderlands 2. I really enjoyed Borderlands 2. Number 9 was Dark Souls, because I'm a Souls fan.
Because that's all you play.
Yeah, that's all I play. That's all I play. Number 8 was Horizon Zero Dawn. Number 7 was Red Dead Redemption. Number 6 was Bloodborne. Number 5 was GTA 5. Number 4 was Witcher 3. Number 3 was Diablo 3. 2 was Skyrim. And number 1 is God of War 4.
All right.
God of War 4. Hands down.
All right. Weldon, excuse me. Al?
I got 3 under my honorable mention, man. This is not meticulously crafted my list from 2010 up to now. So my honorable mentions, number 1, well, actually, particular order. The Last of Us, Overwatch, and Monster Hunter World. Okay, so number 10 is Dead Rising 3 and 4. Huge fan of that series. That's a tie. Number 9 is Dragon Ball Z Fighters. Number 8, Mortal Kombat X. Number 7 is Uncharted 4. Number 6 is Batman Arkham City. Number 5 is Bayonetta 2. Number 4 is Grand Theft Auto 5. Number 3 is Super Mario Odyssey, even though I don't own a Switch. That looks like a wonderful game. Number 2 is Cuphead, of course, because I was all up on that like peanut butter and jelly. And then number 1 is God of War. I mean, that game is excellent.
Larry?
I wasn't prepared for the list, man, but I will say my number 1. I hadn't played God of War, but my number 1 is one that was on Al's list. It's The Last of Us. That game there is just so immersive, man. And when you play it, you feel like, man, that you actually one of the people that's stuck in that situation.
Yep.
And it just kind of sucks you in. And of course, man, I say, man, anything with Grand Theft in the past decade, 3, 4, 5, it's got to be on your list somewhere. just because those games, man, are just they're unexplainable at this point. You know, they just they're their own whatever you want to call it. So,
all right. For me, I will go ahead and just give you number one. Number one is God of War 4, and the rest of these games are in no particular order at all. I do have a couple of honorable mentions, and that is Mortal Kombat X and Uncharted 4. Y'all are gonna laugh when I say this, but those who got a Wii U know exactly what I'm talking about. Mario Kart Wii U is fun as shit. That's all. I literally bought a Wii U for Mario Kart.
all Mario Karts are fun.
Yeah.
Mario Kart, absolutely phenomenal. Batman, Arkham City, Skyrim, Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, Borderlands 2, Last of Us, Overwatch. Well, I'm probably just say Overwatch.
Yeah, I thought about it, man. That should have been my honorable mention because I thought about it. I thought about it real hard. Overwatch.
Yep. And Diablo 3 and Mass Effect 2, man. You know, I mean, just so many good games that came out over the last decade, and when it's just a testament that when companies put work into a game, it pays off in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
EA has a bad tendency of, going out to the barnyard and shoveling crap, and they want to sell it. But that's typical behavior from EA.
But Matt, you know what though? But you know what they said though?
What's
a
that?
lot of the games that we name, guess what they are? Single player games.
True.
All of them are single player games.
Yeah.
Only a handful was multiplayer. So they're talking about a single player game scene is there. Is not.
Yeah, he's right. I mean, he's right. Because it's only like maybe about 5%. Maybe I say probably maybe 10% of the Overwatch and a couple of and it just goes to show, man, a good story goes a long way.
Exactly.
Look at God of War. Uncharted series, those stories are absolutely phenomenal.
Like movie like games.
Yeah,
shoot, the Last of Us story was on point, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I wish they'd come out with a new Castlevania in the mold of God of War. That'd be great.
That'd be great. It need to be based off the first one, the original Castlevania.
Mm-hmm.
In the mold of God of War. I mean, that'd be phenomenal. Now I think the right side there, because I don't think Konami
make it an open world Simon's Quest.
Yeah,
that game that was so hard.
Yeah,
that'll be nasty right now.
All right, so let's move on here. And Al, you got anything there for comic book speculation this week, man?
The only book I recently picked up that newer book was called The Last Siege with Image. There's a little buzz behind that. I've been noticing from what y'all been putting in the hall, there's been a really vested interest in Miss Marvel lately. I've noticed a lot of her books have actually gone up, variants and whatnot. I mean, I know they mentioned, bring her into the MCU fold, and I'm pretty sure that's the reason why. But yeah, I've been seeing a whole lot of buzz behind Miss Marvel, as well as Captain Marvel. So, I guess people are getting on that hype train early. But Larry, I already know you was already a fan before, all the other stuff started. So, you ain't in that number that I'm talking about.
A book that's actually in my pool this week is one that I wanted to bring to everyone's attention, and that is the Strange Tales 158. The appearance of the Living
Tribunal.
Al, for those who are not living tribunally inclined, would you please break this down for them, please?
Certainly. The Living Tribunal was created by Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. The Living Tribunal is one of Marvel's celestial cosmic beings. To put it in terms, the Living Tribunal is second to a character called the One Above All. The One Above All in the Marvel Comics is the equivalent of God. So basically, the Living Tribunal's job is to make sure that the balance of the cosmos remains the same. That there's nothing that occurs in the cosmos that actually will override the ebb and flow of what's happening in the universe. So he's pretty much like the cosmic judge and jury of the universe. So one interesting fact, the living tribunal actually, if I'm not mistaken, with all the multiverses in the Marvel universe, there's only one living tribunal, as there is only one above all. So he actually governs everything that occurs in each particular pocket universe, which they really ain't. They got rid of a lot of them in the last Secret Wars, right, Larry?
Yep.
Yeah. But he was over a whole bunch of different universes. But yeah, that is speculated that he may play a role in the next Avengers movie. So that was a good pickup, Matt. I'm proud of you, buddy.
I got the Battle World. Get back on that series. I meant to read it, but I never had a chance to read it.
You mean Secret Wars?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that stuff there, man, it was all over the place. I'm a Marvel fan, man, but Secret Wars was I ain't gonna say a waste, but it was everywhere.
It was convoluted.
You talking about a cash grab? That was a cash grab. You talking about you talking about, man, it had to be maybe 10 series each, had 4 books.
Yep.
Hey, good luck.
Back to it again. Then it went back to it again.
It makes sense in certain situations, man. But it just didn't make sense in that one. I don't think they built up that story to have people invested enough actually sustain you buying 4 books for each one of those series they came out. And it was just like, and all of them were actually rehashes of old stories. Like they had the Extinction Agenda, they had Inferno,
X-Men 92.
Yeah, X-Men 92. Then they had the World War Hulks. So I mean, it was just like, man, what, you didn't build it up enough for me to actually have a vested interest in buying these books.
Yeah.
Okay, Al.
I got suckered in that crap because I did, because I didn't buy all the tie-ins, because y'all know I don't really buy tie-ins. But with the Secret Wars, I bought the main story and I bought all the X-Men, like E for Extinction. So whatever, and like Larry said, there was at least 4 issues, and like he said, they were rehashing of stories that were already told. So they got me.
I'm coming right back, fellas. I had to just step off to the side there for a quick second. All right, let's get this train moving. Let's go ahead and let's prepare for the Hall of Halls. Larry, we'll go ahead and let you go first tonight.
Let's see what we got here, man. You're lucky, man. I think she just brought my box in. Let's see what we got here.
Box service. Look at that. Man,
stop, man.
You see that?
Man, y'all silly, man. But let's see. We'll start with the Hunt for Wolverine. Weapon Lost. That's the variant. That's the regular cover with Daredevil on the front. You see
that dropped today?
Yeah.
I go pick it up tomorrow.
X-Men Gold with Colossus and Kitty on the front. You know, we're about one issue away from the wedding. It's interesting because we got DC and Marvel with competing weddings. Astonishing return of Xavier. Well, he's already returned, but in this one, he said that his name is no longer Xavier. He's just X, and he's going to leave the X-Men alone.
What?
Yep. Basically, he kind of turned into a quote unquote kind of like a bad guy, honestly.
Really?
Yep. But this is X-Men Red with Namor on the cover. X-Men Red number 6.
Larry, let me hop in there right quick.
Go ahead.
When I heard him say that, it made me think about it. Namor is a character. If y'all see Namor, Submariner #1, the Silver Age edition somewhere, pick that book up. Namor is a character that is, once they finally decide to do what they're gonna do with him, that it's gonna be almost impossible to get his stuff.
It's almost impossible not to get that book. See how much it is.
It ain't too expensive. I've been checking it. I mean, #1 in fair good condition is gonna be about $60-$75.
What they say about Namor? They said technically he was the first superhero man before Captain America, before everybody, as far as Marvel was concerned.
Yep.
Larry, I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
Oh, you good, man? All right, we got the Immortal Hulk. That's a variant right there. This is the if you're gonna get the variant for this book, this is the one to get. The Clayton Crane variant. And here's the other one. This is the connecting variant. It's gonna make I think with 4 of the books, it's gonna make some kind of neat picture. Let's see. One of my favorite books, Weapon X, number 19.
I like that cover, by the way.
Yeah. They let Sabretooth take over. I didn't get this one last week, so I had to go back and get X-Men Gold 28. Captain America 703. Don't ask me much about that one. I don't know if many people have been reading it, but it's actually interesting to me. I guess because all the Infinity stuff going on. But Infinity Countdown got going on because, you know, of course, Marvel couldn't resist. We're going to have an Infinity Wars crossover for the summer. And here's another one you might look into, Al. Dazzler number 1. That's a new series. Don't ask me why they're bringing her back, but she's back. As a rock star, I might add. Rise of the Black Panther number 6. This is the variant. And see if there's anything left. The rest of those are just variants. Yep. That's it for me.
All right. Go ahead and roll up what I got here. Got quite a few. This is probably my last big haul until after the comics convention. Matter of fact, it is. Not probably. It is going to be my last haul.
Hey, man, just to break in. Hey, Midtown got a 75% off sale.
On what?
Everything. Yeah, back issues. So you better look at how. Hey, I saw a book I wanted, man, that was normally $19.99. Get how much it is. $3.38.
X-Men.
Yeah,
I made a
new X-Men book.
Oh, okay.
We'll do that when I go. As stated earlier, Strange Tales 158, First Living Tribunal. A big rise on the bay. Probably one of my vote for one of my favorite covers of the year. It's probably say my second favorite cover. Well, I'd say it's hard, man, to pick it, but Deathstroke, Batman 30. Love that cover, man. Love that cover.
They're like Art Germ's artwork.
It is, I believe. Yeah, it is. No, it's
it's Martina, ain't it?
Martina.
Oh, okay.
It kind of like that Spider-Man cover.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, there it is. Speaking of it,
Spider-Man 800 Del Ata. And this is probably the cover of the year. I guarantee this is probably the cover of the year. This is Batgirl 23.
Oh, careful that one that much. Man. I ain't seen a big deal about it. I like those Supergirl art journal covers, man, are sick.
White cover. It's white cover. It's with it being white. I'm not sure if I showed this last show or not, but first secret agent. U.S. agent, excuse me. First U.S. agent. By way of Lara Crocker, Deadpool 19. By way of Lara Crocker, Deadpool number 1. Hong Kong Fooey and Black Lightning.
Number 1 super guy.
I will give DC credit for that, man. I love that they reviving the Hanna-Barbera characters.
That's why you need to jump on them, man.
Hey, man, I've been on Scooby Apocalypse, man. Then they turn around and kill Fred.
I got the Speed Buggy one. It's in the car, but I got the variant, the Virgin variant cover, and it's got the everybody in the whole Cartoon Network is on. It's like in the stands.
Man, you see what they did for Speed Buggy, man, as far as what they doing to him? It's real dark.
No, I hadn't even cracked the book open yet. Yeah. 19. I got this straight off the strength of the cover. But this is hard to find too, by the way. Shout out to Will at Comics Plus. By the way,
that's one of the covers, man. That's one of the covers, man, that'll get us in trouble, man, with women.
By way of Lara Crocker, X-Force 17 blood variant.
X-23.
Now, when me and Larry stopped by old Dave's Comics. And for those who have never had the opportunity to go to Dave's Comics, you're really missing out. He has a $5 box. It's not just a normal $5 box.
We went to work.
You find blockbusters for $5. $5 netted me. The Sensational She-Hulk #1.
That's what's up.
And probably the one that just blew my mind was Web of Spider-Man #1.
Are you serious?
$5.
You got to be shitting me.
$5, man.
$5. So when I tell y'all that these people are paying $20 and $15 and $18 and $30 for this book.
I'm talking about, man. Hey, mint condition, Mallard up, man.
What's the place at?
$5.
It's in Fayetteville. And I left this book like it is because I want to tell y'all, man, these eBay sellers, man, they just don't give a damn when they put stuff together. I mean, now this is the #1 Venom #1, but look at this. Look at this.
Wow.
Look at this. Luckily, it didn't bend. Because I would have screamed because I love that cover.
Oh, yeah, man.
New Avengers #4. Larry, first appearance of
Maria Hill.
All right. Superman, Batman #12. First appearance of Grail.
What we find out when that, man? Was that at Bungie or was that at Days?
$5 at Days.
At Days, yeah.
$5.
Yeah, I'm not going to go. I ain't gonna even go through the stuff we bought there, man. That'd be too much.
I mean, we had like 10 minutes. We had like 10 minutes to get this stuff. So if I'd stayed a little bit longer, you know, tell them what I would have got. But Superman #9. This is a cover that's heated up in price. $5. Black Panther #1. Got that off the strength of that cover alone. Thank you, Larry, for pointing that out to me while we were there. And I left the price on this so that your people could see it. $3 Silver Surfer #50. $3. Okay. You can look online and see what this book is going for. But I paid $3 for it. Shout out to my boys up at Origin Story. Went over to old Bungie man, Mr. Bill. Moon Knight. Sketch variant. Hard to find out there in the wild. $15. You see the price right there. You see it. That's the price. Marvel Team-Ups. #5. Spider-Man X-23. You see how much you paid for it right there?
I didn't know you picked that one up.
Yeah, I sure did. $2.75.
Yeah, I had that one a long time ago. I was gonna pick that up just to have another copy.
And I know the Flash is on life support, but there's a character that I think may be showing up at some point that it just makes perfect sense for her to show up. And this is Flash 180, the first appearance of Peekaboo. And this book, I got $4. This book goes for anything. It's all over the place, but the highest I've seen it go for is about 20. Last but not least, there's always a surprise here and there. And tonight I bring to you a surprise. This is a book that I was actually intending on getting at the convention, but a classic eBay snipe allowed me to get this. at the price I wanted to get it at, and I was able to get it slabbed. And it's my man, Alan know what I'm talking about. And if he's watching, he'll know what I'm talking about. My man Reaper Tate, he always goes, I'm just so glad to have this, add this into my collection. Yeah. And this is Fantastic Four 49.
Oh, good one.
Galactus.
First full appearance of Galactus, and the second appearance of the Silver Surfer.
It looks pretty good to be a 4.
It is. It's really good to be a 4, man. I was like, yeah, this is good.
Hey, turn around, please.
Get your San Martino up at the top. But yeah, this is the pickup for me, and now it's all down to the convention. I'm just ready for the convention. So, Al, no, you know what? Well done. What you got, man? We haven't seen a haul from you in 2 years.
Yeah, no, man. Yeah, whatever. But actually, I played catch up a little bit because I think you had put this up in the hall. The Captain America, First Appearance of the Serpent Society.
Oh yeah,
yeah. You put that one in the hall. I grabbed that one. This one you put in the hall.
Look at that one. Look at that. Al, look at that.
Yeah, pick that one up. See. This one I got this one while I was at Coming Plus. Old Man Hawkeye, #1. I picked that one up.
Story not bad, man. They just kind of riding the old man thing into
to
the dirt. It's not a bad story though.
To the dirt.
I picked this one up just because Weapon H.
It's another character, man. It's like this year is the year of the fusion. We had
pretty much.
Yeah, Wolverine and Hulk, and now we got Carnage and Green Goblin, and it's like, man.
Pick this one up for Coming Plus too.
That Young Guns variant?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Good cover.
Batman 46 variant. Pick this one up while I was we see somebody said somebody's in the hall. Excalibur #1.
That's not the official #1. But that's like for a mini series. You want to get
which one I need to get?
I show it to you after the show.
Okay. What else I got here? Got 2 of these. Moon Knight #1.
Moon Knight.
Put that back up.
Hey, look, man. Look, we gonna make Moon Knight popular, man, and then
bring that back.
That's right.
Bring that back. Yeah, bring that back. I want you to hold it. You know, not only did you got 2, hold it back up. 2 up. People, I'm telling you, if you see this book in the wild for a good price, get this book. When Moon Knight comes, there's some characters that when it comes. Larry, do you have that book with you? The book that you got, the one I told you to pick up.
Well, no, it's in the basement.
Okay, you have certain books that are out there. You have to take advantage of these books, especially when you find them at great prices.
Yeah, because
unreachable.
Actually, you know that time I went to Coming Plus, was it doing free Coming Plus day? I got them one of them it was on sale for $8, but you know they had the 50% off. Yeah, because I got it for like $4.
Yeah, I mean, take advantage of it. If you see these books out there, grab them. You know, I do it again. I go back through here and show you $5. $5.
Yeah, Web of Spider-Man #1.
Web of Spider-Man #1. $5. Take advantage of this stuff if you all see those books out there. All right.
Yeah, it was well, y'all got me with this key collector out, and I went nuts with this thing here. I picked, East meets West I got 1 through 10.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was on. I got it for like $10.
Hey, well, then, man, you need where you work at, man. I might need
Yeah.
might need to get there.
No, I got it off eBay, man, for 10. I searched for some of this stuff. Got Avengers #1, just a regular cover. In the second part 2, which is what else did I get?
Well, I've been shopping.
Yeah, that's what it look like, man.
Yeah, Hulk Wolverine. I like the regular cover. I do like the regular cover, Hulk Wolverine.
He said, "Man, I'm coming back with a vengeance tonight, man."
That's right.
Oh.
That's the whole. That's the book she didn't have saved up for since she been off it.
And I had to pick this one up. I told Al about this one. That Wolverine with the End of the Dragon homage.
Where you find that at, man?
eBay.
eBay.
Al, tell me how much we find it on eBay for.
$2 is a change.
I would say, man, that's not an expensive book, though, is it?
There's an Iron Fist.
But just for the
There's an Iron Fist homage to Enter the Dragon.
just for the fact that it's the End of the Dragon homage, man, it shouldn't have no price on it. It's priceless.
It was a Ninja Turtle one like that with End of the Dragon homage too. We had five. It said, look at your key collector.
I had to find it.
Got this one. Little Matt already showed it. Got that one too. Venom 1 variant with Deadpool on it. And
Shopping.
last but not least, Spider-Man 800, Amazing Spider-Man 800, the auto variant.
Did you get the version, Matt? I saw you show the trade dress.
I know what you call it. I actually got what you call it.
You got the trade dress, okay.
Yeah, that's it for me.
All right, brother Al.
Man, I ain't got nothing but some 8-track tapes. That's all I got. Whoa.
But have
Yeah, man, I got some 8-track tapes of the Ohio players. But I got a few things, man. I picked up my books yesterday. Had a couple of things from last week. No Justice #4. The Justice League, No Justice. Green Arrow 41. Still reading this, man. Never thought I'd be reading Green Arrow, but it's a good book. Grass Kings #15. It's a good independent book. Spider-Man 800.
Yep.
Alex Ross cover. And this is the book I was telling everybody about on my speculation or that I've been seeing. I haven't read it yet. It's called The Last Siege, #1, Image book.
Just to go back to that last one, man, that book that was Spider-Man 800 is 80 pages.
80 pages, and it's a good story too.
Cover ad. Do you know how much the version go for?
About $1,000.
Almost.
Wow.
Yeah. And this one, another one is the one we were talking about in the group is $1,500 on Midtown. Doomsday Clock #5,
which is actually is the Watchmen is taping here in our city
in Macon, Georgia. Hong Kong Fooey.
I do like that cover though.
Black Lightning #1 super guy.
That's what I said. Hong Kong women. That man jumps in the file cabinet, bro. And to get down to where he need to get to.
That's right. Aquaman and Jabberjaw.
The version of that is going for about $20 now.
Did you get that variant you were looking for, Matt?
No, I couldn't find it, man. And I don't want to pay that much when we saw it because I wasn't quite sure if it was going to if it was going to stay at that price and go down or what. So I didn't take a punt on it.
Gotcha.
The Flash and Speed Buggy.
While you do that, Al, I'm gonna run and grab that variant of that.
Word Life, because I have a few more, sir. Super Sons, Blue Falcon, and Dynamite. And the only reason why I got this book was because of
Blue Falcon. And
Dynamite. Right. Blue Falcon and Dynamite.
That take you back there, man.
Yes, sir. That's why I had to go ahead and snatch all 4 of those, man, because when the first set came out, I got Space Ghost and Green Lantern, and then they had one the Batman Elmer Fudd. I picked that one up, and it was one more. I can't remember which one it was. Green Arrow Annual number 2. Green Lanterns Annual number 1. Green Lanterns 46. Courtesy of Matthew Odom. Amazing Spider-Man 800. Del Alto.
Yeah.
Walking Dead 180. The Alpha variant cover. Walking Dead 180. Regular cover. Kill or Be Killed number 19. One of the best Image books out there. It's about to wrap up with issue 20. This is one of the best books that they have on Image. This has been I can't think of the word, but this is supposed to be either a TV show or a movie. It's Kill or Be Killed number 19.
It's a TV show.
Yeah. So, but then that's the next to the last issue. I also picked up, courtesy of Weldon de Ramos, the Wolverine Manifest Destiny number 3. I got to get the other 3 now.
Yeah.
But I'm digging that cover, man. I'm a huge Bruce Lee fan. I have the movie poster for this. All right. One of my favorite X-Men, I found this and I wanted to go ahead and pick it up, but I need to get the other 4. Hopefully they'll have them up at the comic book convention. X-Men Colossus Bloodline.
Colossus
of Russia. Onslaught Epilogue. Companion with the Onslaught Saga. And last but not least, well, actually, I got one more thing. This X-Men 113, one of the books that I've been looking for. So it takes my count down to 87. So I'm doing 87 books now before I had a full first run of the Uncanny X-Men, y'all.
Hey, everybody, that's a real collector. That's 544 books, and he's only missing 87 books.
87 books. Now, some of them books gonna cost me my soul. I already know. But those are gonna be the ones that I'm gonna try to get last. I want to get X-Men number 1 last, but I don't care if that's a 1.0. I get that one slabbed at a 0.5 right long now, because I already got a couple of reprints. And got Pop, Vegeta, Super Saiyan God Blue. I stole this one off of eBay for an astronomical price. So that's all I got for right now.
All right. Today I picked up. Today I picked up Green Lantern 48. And Al, this is the cover I wanted to pull up at the speed buggy. This is the one where you see everybody.
Yeah. I see. I'm good with the Young Gun covers, man. It's just that at first, when they were doing them, I thought it was gonna be like a limited type thing. Now I see, man, they draw covers left and right because they
good work, man.
And it's great artwork, man. It's just that, like I said, man, when that Spider-Man went through the roof, I thought it was gonna be more of a, like I say, maybe we throw one out ever so often. Man, you go now, man. They got a Young Gun variant for everything on the shelf.
Yeah.
All right, well, fellas, ladies and gentlemen, we'll say thank you for hanging out with us tonight on this late start time. We're ending late tonight. I want to tell you thank you all for watching. We will be returning in 2 weeks before we get ready for our convention, and then we will not have another show until we go to the convention. We'll actually have a show in Atlanta. We'll figure out where we're gonna have it at some point. We're all gonna have a show, and we're gonna talk about the convention, and we're gonna talk about our first experience. We'll be posting videos throughout the day, so you'll definitely want to check that out. Maybe do a book nook stop while we if they're not, if they're even there. If not, we may even roll back through and stop by old Dave's.
Hey, everybody, don't sleep on Dave's Comics, man.
Yeah, I need to figure out what Dave's Comics is.
Actually, man, he had a spot in Noonan that we went to not too long ago too, and it wasn't bad either. And his dollar bin over there, man, was insane too. And I ain't talking about a $5 bin. His dollar bin was insane. So
yeah,
just some of these places, man, you need to just stop doing check out.
You know, I'm gonna give a shout out to Will, man, at Comics Plus. I bought about 9 books that were in the crate that was at relatively good prices. So I definitely want to give Will a shout out of Comics Plus, and then I'm going to give a special shout out to my boys of the Origin Story. You know, for just provide great customer service, man, and just the work that they've done with that store up in McDonough. So definitely want to give them a shout out.
Double that, man. Double shout for keeping me keeping my variants good for me. Yeah. And those boys at Origin Story, man, really have that free comic book day, man. We went up there, everything was jam up, man. It was good stuff. So yeah. Man, and we went back, and like I said, man, they've done an awesome job. And I'm gonna third that, man, with old man Bungie. I like his I like his setup, man, and he got some good stuff over there. I picked up quite a few things from over there. So, hey, man, we got a great variety to choose from, man. And we just got to decide where we're going to go.
Yeah, in the state of Georgia, there is no shortage of good comic book stores unless you go up to Stockbridge.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
And Will was watching. He know what I'm talking about. If you go to Stockbridge, Georgia, you're in trouble.
Man. That was, oh, God. Yeah. I could have done better than that with the books I got in my collection.
All right, people. With that, we want to tell everyone have a great night, and we will be returning in 2 weeks. Hopefully, Weldon, are you here to stay, man? Or what is this, man? A down and start, toasty type moment?
He going back to space.
Tell Weldon, say, man, I got to make an appearance here once in a while.
Yeah, I was gonna say I make an appearance every now and then.
Just show y'all what time it is.
So now that Weldon's on the show, we got to get Vince. He's not done Vince, so now Vince is now taking over the role of Parts Unknown. The TC streak has been broken. The Iron Man streak has been broken, but for good cause. My man, you got to make that money. You got to make that money.
Right.
I don't know how that goes. All right, everybody. With that, we want to tell everyone have a great night. For Larry Crocker, for Al Rainey, for the Doremus King, and for everyone else, we want to say have a great night. Xavier couldn't make it on. He just got home. He just texted me and told me he just got in for work, but he wants to tell everyone hello. I want to tell everyone thank you for watching tonight, and we will catch you all in 2 weeks. Have a great night.